I think these people are weirdos. They're and I think they're one of the reasons why the gaming community as a whole gets a lot of bad stigmas and reputations. So the publisher of GW2 NCSoft made a news recently because apparently it seems the shareholders slipped out the development of GW3, and you would think any normal person would have saw this coming, right? This isn't a shock. But let's be honest, GW2 is over a decade old at this point. There are a lot of reasons why you would want to be developing a sequel at this point. You would think the community would be overjoyed or at least be excited, right? Because why wouldn't you be? You're getting a new game set in that same universe as your beloved game with updated graphics, text, gameplay, you name it. Now, obviously, we don't know how things will turn out, but nothing in life is guaranteed. So you'll have to wait and see. But still, the excitement should be there at the very least. However, that's not the case with the GW2 community, or at least a portion of it. This doesn't represent the entire community, but there are people like this. There are people shocked, fearful, and disappointed, just going ballistic for whatever reasons because your favorite game just greenlit a sequel again. And that's what we're here to talk about. Why are people in shambles over GW3 announcement when this is a long time coming? It's simple. This is one of the main issues that I have with the gaming community, especially in modern days. These people don't play games for fun, or at least that's their main driving force. People are disappointed in this leak because they're saying this would compromise the state of GW2 and hinder the amount of efforts and updates being put into the game. Listen, I don't know how you can possibly compromise the game GW2 when the game has been stale, if not outright dead, in terms of contents for a while. Second, the fact that this game only has 4 expansions within the time span of 12 years, right? Well over a decade of its existence, should be an obvious indicator of the type of management that this game is under. And what exactly did you expect? You people love the game for the fact that it's so chill and casual due to its horizontal progression, but this is the nature of a horizontal game. Once you get to a certain point in the game, the developers aren't putting out contents often, then you have a game that's boring, stale, and declining in the fun factor. Anet wasn't doing anything with GW2 to begin with, so this doesn't change anything really. In fact, it's better because GW2's chance of ever competing with the top MMORPG has already shipped sail years ago. And I know some of you GW2 players are probably rage typing right now that the game is alive. A dead game doesn't mean there aren't people. It means it's practically irrelevant, which GW2 is. Sure, it has players, but by no means this is a thriving MMO. Anyone who says that, it's so I hate to tell, but you're a complete and you're in denial. I'm sorry, is it competing with Final Fantasy XIV? WoW? Even Elder Scrolls Online, that's been getting a lot of traction lately. You can argue all you want that they could instead be improving GW2, but again, that's way past due. And in terms of business-wise, I would put this old ass game to rest and move ahead with a newer, next-gen updated title. Another reason as to why people are crying right now is because they spend too much time, efforts, and resources into Guild Wars 2 that they feel all their achievements would be meaningless if a new Guild Wars game is in development. Yes, that's how game works. What did you think you were playing? Any game in the history of the world doesn't just let you transfer all your items, armors, and weapons to a new game. That's not how it works. Never heard of such thing. You can always make use of whatever you got or attained as long as you play the game, right? But don't try to gatekeep the franchise and the company from moving onward to a newer, potentially better product. Also, weren't you having fun getting all those achievements / items? That's the whole point of playing a game, right? If you had fun, then those times were well spent. What's the problem here then, right? I mean, unless you weren't having fun, then why the F would you go through all the hassle of attaining those items or achievements? Do you live in Guild Wars 2? Does the game make up the entirety of your life that you end up spending all of your time and energy farming some craps in a game that is in no way tangible in the real world, nor does it do you any good in terms of value or fun? I don't know about you, but that sounds to me like a you problem. You chose to go through all that trouble of reaching all those goals to what end if not for fun? Once again, this all comes down to these people playing Guild Wars 2 for one reason. And that reason is they've become so accustomed to the game that it essentially becomes their comfort zone, right? Their whole life, or their safe zone, whatever you want to call it. It sort of becomes a game in which they play like their honor depends on it, or some bullcrap. It's why they're acting like a bunch of man-children. It'd be like finding out that your parents have taken a liking to another kid, or you're about to have a sibling, and you become resentful because you feel you won't be getting as much attention from them. I don't know about you, but that sounds very immature to me. It's not a healthy relationship to be having with a game. A game is supposed to give you fun, and that's about it. You move on, or you can keep playing the game. But I don't see how GW3 is going to change any of that unless you're projecting your individual issue into this matter. Listen, NCSoft and Anet, if you want profits, if you want a larger populations, revenue, ignore these weirdos and go full speed on GW3. GW2 is a thing of the past, you know it. Learn from your mistake and you'll do great.